3, 2, 1.
It's just fired.
What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again, and of course I'm with my brother, my husband, my co-host, John. How are we?
All good, mate. Love the new setup. Hope you're okay as well.
Oh, mate, this is fantastic. So this show will be out every Tuesday and every Friday at 8 p.m. Sometimes they'll be live. Sometimes they'll be pre-recorded. This one is pre-recorded and will be going out as a premiere. So all of you guys can get in the comments and interact with each other because that's what it's all about on the Blue Boys Network. John, let's talk about some transfers. Let's talk about this man. First of all,
Koulibaly.
Koulibaly, obviously, I mean, this is a player that we've been linked with several times over the last 3 or 4 years, to be fair, since Moshiri really walked in. And I remember Moshiri making a comment about Koulibaly a few years ago. I think it was about 4 years ago now, saying we matched their offer. We were prepared to give them what they wanted. And he quoted £52 million as monopoly money. Do you remember Moshiri doing that?
Brilliant.
Unbelievable. What is Koulibaly what we need?
Oh, without a doubt, Michael, without a doubt. You know, I have wrote a few things down. He's 29 years of age and he was linked with Man City, I think it was last year or the year before, for £69 million. He's 29 years of age. Now he is 30 in June. So apparently Napoli have slashed the asking price. A 30-year-old Koulibaly, when he joins Everton, for me, brings experience. He's a winner. Carlo Ancelotti's managed him before. He brings something that I think we struggle with at centre-half, as in he will bring something that could help Ben Godfrey go up at least another level again. Because, listen, Ben Godfrey's been, for me, he's on a par with one of the best signings that Ancelotti's done, if not the best, Michael. And I'll probably say that ahead of James, Allen and Zakore. Ben Godfrey, for me, we were having a conversation, Michael, how he's not in that England team is beyond a fucking joke, right? But that's for another video. So for me, Koulibaly, he comes in, he helps Ben Godfrey, no ends up, you know what I mean? What I like about Koulibaly from what I've seen, Michael, he's a good reader of the game. He's one of them defenders where when the opposition are running at you and the ball's trying to be played through, he easily steps in front of his man and just gets in the way and wins the ball. He's composed. I mean, he's 6'1". He's good in the air when we're defending. He's got a good clearance with his head. You know, he's a big unit, Koulibaly. But also, when we have the likes of set pieces and corners, he will score us a lot of goals, Michael, because I don't know about you, but I think over the last 18 months, 2 years, our set pieces have improved 1,000,000% to what they used to be. I remember sitting there with you many times a couple of seasons ago, Michael. We didn't beat the first man. So, you know, Luca Dean putting the ball over for him from set pieces will be massive. So for me, you know, he's got 2 years left on his contract at Napoli, but they are looking to cash in now, Napoli, because he has been leaving over the past couple of windows. Apparently now they are ready to cash in. He's on £195,000 a week at Napoli. So for Everton to get him, while he's still got 2 years left on his contract, we probably going to have to pay him a lot more. Well, not a lot more, but I think we're going to have to offer him more than that. Because I will be honest with you, and listen, when me and Michael do these shows, please don't shoot the messengers. We're only going more in depth what you people are also seeing as well. But it's nice to talk in case anyone's missed it. Koulibaly will be linked with many clubs. You know, he's been linked with City over the last 18 months, 2 years. He's been also linked with Man United. He's been linked with the Spanish teams. So it will be tough to get him, Michael. But can we get Koulibaly? I think now is as good a chance as anything. Carlo Ancelotti's made him his #1 transfer target in the summer. Now, if he's made him his #1 target, Everton Marcel Brands, Carlo Ancelotti are going to go all out to get him. Do you ever think we'll get him? I think there's a very good chance we can get Koulibaly. I really do.
I think if this is all true, then Carlo's putting his authority down on Brands very, very early before the transfer window. He knows the Euros and the competitions are coming up where different players will be away. So maybe he's setting out his transfer strategy early. Do you get what I mean? Because we've also been linked with obviously European players, and we will. You
in
can't
the shop window when they go to these competitions, Michael, and you don't want teams coming in and overtaking us to get these players. And we had this conversation this morning on the phone, Michael, with the Euros coming up. It's always a tough transfer window. In my opinion, Everton need to get these deals at least half done with, a handshake, terms agreed. It's hard to do a medical before the champion unless you're going to sign them fully, because anything can happen in the competition. But at least have a verbal gentleman's agreement in place before the European Championship start. Now, don't get me wrong. We've seen that happen before in the past where Everton have had that with a player and he's turned his back on us. I don't think we will have that problem with the likes of Carlo Ancelotti as the pull. Things need to be in place before these European Championships start if we're going to get top quality players that we're now starting to be linked with. Yeah.
Agreed. Just so you know, and your internet very occasionally kicks out. It's nothing major, so don't change it, but it does occasionally kick out. In terms of Everton, we've already got Yuri Mina, we've got Michael Keane, we've got Mason Holgate, we've got Ben Godfrey, we've got Branthwaite as well, who's done incredibly well. One of them's got to go, surely.
See, I've always been a lover of Yuri Mina. I think I've made that pretty obvious. I like Yuri Mina. He's strong, and for me, the ideal central defensive pairing, if we get Koulibaly, would be Godfrey and Koulibaly all day long.
So do you sell Michael Keane?
Probably. And listen, this is nothing against Michael Keane for the simple fact of the matter. I know he had mental health issues 18 months ago. He did get help. Michael Keane's been a really, really good player since he sorted his health, his mental problems out. He's been a mountain at the back. Is Michael Keane good enough to take us to the next level? Is he on a par with what Ben Godfrey is going to be and what Koulibaly is going to be? No, he's not. And listen, people know I will say it how it is. If I had the choice of 3 centre-halves at the club, it would be Yuri Mina, Koulibaly and Ben Godfrey. Michael Keane may be happy being part of a squad, because at the end of the day, Michael, and it's a big if at the minute, we do get the Europa League, you're going to need the squad. So It would be nice to have Yuri Mina, Koulibaly, Ben Godfrey, Michael Keane. You've also got Mason Holgate who can play there as well. But one of them misses out. And for me, it'd probably be more Michael Keane, especially when Yuri Mina is fit. Some of the tackles Yuri Mina puts in, he jumps in front of the ball. He's not scared of getting hurt. He's strong. He's powerful. And listen, Koulibaly and Yuri Mina wouldn't be a bad partnership if, God forbid, Ben Godfrey got injured. Strong, tall, can read the game.
Yeah, I'd be torn between Holgate and Michael Keane. I'm not saying I've got anything against either player, but you don't necessarily need 6 centre halves. No, because obviously we've got Branthwaite who's pulling up tricks at Blackburn, and we've obviously seen how quality he is for such a young lad. And we've also got the young lad from Newcastle as well that we signed a few years ago, and he looked fantastic out on loan.
What I will say, you mentioned Branthwaite there, and again, this is no pop at Branthwaite whatsoever, but if we bring the likes of Koulibaly in, and that leaves us with Michael Keane and Yuri Mina or Mason Holgate and Ben Godfrey, I think Everton would be probably tempted to send them 2 kids out for another year on loan, to be fair.
And I'm not against that. I don't think that's a bad move. It'll be interesting to see. And obviously, the rumor may not be true. It may be completely false, but who knows? Who knows? Let's move on to another player that we have been linked with. So have Leeds, and so have Tottenham, and of course, that is Lucas Vasquez. If I've said his name wrong, I apologise, because he could be Luca Vasquez. I don't know. Anyway, he's a right back / right winger. He's played over 160 times for Real Madrid. He hasn't featured this season, I believe, or if he has, he's only played on the periphery. And I think he only played something like 15 games last season for them. However, we need a right back. We all know that.
You do.
What's your take on this one?
Well, this one's gathering pace by all accounts. I've seen a few reports today that Everton have actually jumped ahead of everyone in the queue. There's apparently an offer on the table for Vasquez now. Carlo Ancelotti spoke to him personally. I have seen this today on a few numerous. It's what I've read on numerous websites. So Everton to the front of the queue. 29 years of age, and he can leave Real Madrid for free at the end of the season. He can play wing back or a full back as well. Now that position for us, Michael, I think we both know, and I think we're all in all agreement, everyone who watches us, that our right side is very, very, very weak from the full back straight up onto the wing. Now, we have been linked with Max Aarons. I believe that is a deal that will definitely be done. But when you sign someone like Vasquez on a free, and you've got also Max Aarons there as well, that is a really, really strong right back position for two players, Michael, who are quality to fight for. So it makes, again, the squad stronger. But from what I've seen before, Everton have jumped ahead of the queue. I think it's AC Milan are after them as well, Michael. They have jumped ahead of all of these teams, Leeds, as you say, Tottenham, to sign them. And apparently there is an offer on the table. So that's probably one to watch as well.
Yeah, I'd certainly... the thing is, if we sign Vasquez and Aarons, which I personally don't see happening, I can see one happening. We've got Coleman, we've got Kenny, we've also got Holgate.
Kenny's not going to be there. Kenny's not going to be there. Let's be honest about it.
So you're essentially assuming potentially that Coleman's either going to play as third choice right back, or he's going to leave the club. And I can't think
he'll leave. I don't think he'll leave. I do think he will become, if we do bring two right backs in, and this is not a pop at Seamus Coleman. He's been absolutely fantastic for Everton Football Club. And, it'll be a sad day when he goes, or if he hangs his boots up and comes back in some capacity, a bit like Leighton Baines was as well. It's a sad day for Everton Football Club. But when you look at Max Aarons and Vasquez, two quality right backs, I think we can take John Joe Kenny out the equation. I don't think he's got a future at Everton Football Club. Again, it's not a pop at him. He's just not good enough. Simple as that. It's quality. And I know you say you can't see us getting both of them, Michael, but if you look at Manchester City, they have two teams of quality.
Oh, yeah.
Of quality. Now, we had a conversation the other day on the phone after the Manchester City game, and we went through the team and how many goals they've scored, and blah, 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 blah. And we looked at our bench, and then we looked at how many players we need for the starting 11 for our strongest team. And we worked out for a full quality bench like Man City have had, also added to our match day team of 11. You're looking at 12, 13, 14, 15 quality players we need in. Doesn't happen in two summer transfer windows. It's going to take gradual. It's going to happen over time. But what better way to start it, Michael, is to bring in Koulibaly, Max Aarons and Vasquez, because, again, that makes us so much stronger. We had the conversation that, in my opinion, I think Everton should revert back to the way we were playing at the beginning of the season, where if we score 5, let the opposition score 4, because at the end of the day, Michael, the football we're watching is absolutely fucking shite at the minute. Give us excitement. Leeds do it. Newcastle done it under Kevin Keegan. But it's a good foundation. When you don't want to play like that, it's a good foundation to have two quality right backs and someone like Koulibaly and Ben Godfrey and Yerry Mina, maybe Michael Keane if he stays at the club. Branthwaite, it just makes the whole squad stronger. Not saying we're going to be on a par with Manchester City over 2-3 windows, Michael, but it's a start. It took Liverpool 5 years to get near enough two teams where they could make substitutions and still win a game. We haven't got that. So,
yeah, that's fair. And we did say we were going to go through some of the stats, and although I've made them, I have not sent them and put them on here. However, I think you're right with going back to the old form of play, because if you actually break it down and you go a little bit further than that, we scored 19 goals in our first 10 games. We have scored 21 in our next 18. It's scary.
Well,
it's scary.
When we went through these stats, Michael, of how many goals we've scored and how many clean sheets we've kept, doesn't matter who's managed these players. It doesn't matter. It's nothing to do with the managers, what I'm going to say now. It's about how much money's being spent on this squad. £500 million for a team that has scored 40 goals all season in the Premier League. 40 goals. We've conceded 30 odd, I think it was. That's not good enough. It's not good enough, Michael, for the team that cost £500 million. Doesn't matter who's managing the team. The whole top and bottom of it is poor. That is poor. And I'm going to go as far as saying Everton, in my opinion, the way we've played since them first 8 games, and we've had a lot of luck. We've won a lot of games 1-0, by the way, Michael. We've had a lot of luck this season. Yeah. For me, I don't think we deserve. We're not the 8th best team in the country or the 7th best team in the country. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. We are in that league having a bit of luck. And I'm going to go into me rant now because we said we were going to put this into a bit of the video. I'm still pissed off over Manchester City, and I'm going to get shot down for this. People have said on Twitter, including you, Michael, we were in the game for 80, 83 minutes. Man City didn't play well. Whether that was down to Everton or whether that was just down to Man City having a day off, Man City flicked the light switch and just go for it. They could have done that, in my opinion, any time in that game. But they chose not to, or they didn't do it. I don't know why. One player changed for Man City the other day. He flicked that light switch when he came on. That was Kevin De Bruyne. Michael, we haven't got that. So, again, a lot of people who will have a pop at me over this, I know it takes time. I know it's not Carlo Ancelotti's full squad, but let's stop being happy with mediocrity. Take the blue-tinted glasses off and let's put it into perspective. We don't deserve to be 8th in the league with our performances this season. We are, which is fucking great. Are we ready for Europe? Not with this squad of players, nowhere near it. Nowhere near it, because we won't go very far, because we'll be playing 30 Sunday, then the cup games kick in. So let's just take it step by step. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And me and Michael have been guilty for that. We were singing top 4 the other week. Let's be honest about it. We were never going to get top 4. We were never going to get top 4. And people keep going on about this game in hand. The way Everton are playing, we won't beat Aston Villa. Let's go to the quality of football that me, you, and everybody else who's watching as Evertonians. It's fucking diabolical, the quality of football that we're watching. Brighton play better football than us. Let's be honest about it. So, and I'm sorry, people know me. I don't sit on the fence. This isn't a pop at Ancelotti. This is a pop at the club as a whole. We've stood still for years and years and years and years. And Mashiri comes in, and we've had directors of football and we've had managers who have wasted nearly £500 million. I'm not happy with that. I think I get the feel a lot of people who are happy, and, we lasted till 80 minutes with Man City. In my opinion, have a pop at me if you want. I've never seen Everton win a trophy, so they're used to mediocrity. You're used to it. You're just used to it. Or you've had that much success in the 70s, 80s, 90s that you're happy not to see success anymore. Well, I'm sorry. Last trophy I see him was 1995. My mate Michael here has never seen Everton win a fucking trophy. So I don't want mediocrity. I don't want it, because they've seen us be a successful team from years gone by. It's for now, and we want to see progress now. We want to see us challenging for trophies. We bottled it again. We had the chance to go into a semi-final, and we haven't. I'm not going to say we bottled it because it was a much better performance in the cup game than what it was in the league. But City weren't as good in the cup. So shoot me down, have a pop at me. I'm entitled to my opinion, just like you people are.
No, but John, I think look, it's fine. And in terms of the element of spending £500 million, and look where we are, I agree. And I said that to you on the phone. I agree. I think it's a shame that as soon as you take out James Rodriguez, which is a conundrum in itself, we do not look like we can create anything. Anything. We had a couple of opportunities. We've scored a lot of goals from set pieces. And that's because the delivery is so good. That's because Luca Dean can whip a ball in. That's because he can put a cross in. We know we've got that with Luca Dean. And we've all of a sudden learnt to score headed goals. But in terms of scoring goals from open play, apart from at the start of the season when we were absolutely fantastic at it, I can't tell you now how we cut open a team. I can't see it when we watch a game of football. So this is another area that we need to strengthen in January, in my opinion. We need a ball-carrying midfielder or a creative midfielder who can really open up a team. And we need a winger who is actually capable of beating a man, delivering a ball and scoring some goals, because our wingers do not do that. And there might be people who throw Richarlison in as a winger. I personally don't. I have him as a striker. We haven't got that. Iwobi doesn't do it. Bernard doesn't do it. We've occasionally seen Gylfi Sigurdsson on the left-hand side, which is just a complete waste of time. And I'm not saying Sigurdsson's had a bad season at all, but
he's at the level where we want to be. He's another one.
Exactly. And we need to stop with the sentiment. I am not sitting there slagging off any one individual. But there's been issues. There's been issues around the whole. There's been issues with the players. There's been issues with the managers. There's been issues with the board. There's been issues with the takeover. And, you know, at the start, how much involvement was Bill getting with Mashiri? Now Mashiri seems to have almost completely cut Bill out of it and runs the club on his own with obviously Stan, his accountants, and all of that, and all of the team there. But if Everton are really going to push on next season, these transfers this summer
have to be right.
They've got to be like last summer, because last summer, in my opinion, they got it right. Yes, I know people will mention about James Rodriguez, and a lot of people are saying, well, where is he? What's he doing? And I know my and your opinion on James is a little bit different. But as of right now, if James Rodriguez isn't in the team, I can't see us scoring. My frustration is he's not in the team enough.
Well, we don't know why he's not in the team. This is the problem. We don't know why he's not in the team, Michael. 1 minute James has got a couple of knocks and he wants to get over them all completely before he comes back and breaks down again. Then you've got Carlo Ancelotti saying he's only carrying a calf. So going back to what you said there about creating chances, Michael, I think there was one point this season where Everton had scored the most headed goals in the Premier League, right? Most of them are from Luca Dean's crosses from a corner. You take the majority of dead ball goals that we've scored, we're fucked.
Yeah.
So, we need someone like a Kevin Morales, Michael, who can go past the player and swing the ball in. And I'm not going to go on and on and on and about and conquer again, because maybe he's not ready. I'm not saying him. What I mean is someone like that, who's strong, powerful, can go past the opposition fullback, can whip across in, because that's what Dominic Calvert-Lewin is missing. That's why you're finding Dominic Calvert-Lewin is having to come into his own half to look for the ball, because I'm not being funny. He's playing with Gylfi Sigurdsson, Andre Gomez, fucking Tom Davis, Iwobi. What do people expect? You're not going to get Richarlison fucking working his bollocks off. Yeah, he might put a shift in, but he just fuck all with it.
Yeah.
You know, this is why we need players now to stay in their own position. Bring players in who are quality in their own position, because we don't know where Richarlison plays. We don't know where Iwobi plays. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's supposed to be a centre forward. He's having to come back into our half to look for the ball because he's not getting the service. We need to bring players in who will just stay in their position, and then other players will know where the ball's going to go. Other players will know, well, I'm staying in my position because fucking my mate over there, he's got that position covered. I haven't got to go over there anymore and look for the ball because we've got quality there who can do it now. We haven't got that. And that's why you're finding Dominic Calvert-Lewin crossing the halfway line to look for the ball because the players around him are absolutely fucking shite. or the service he's getting shite. Not going to say Alan and Decore are shite, but they haven't been brought in to supply Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So he's not going to get the ball off then. That's down to Andre Gomez and Gylfi Sigurdsson, and they've been better. Let's be honest about it, Michael. They've been better. But have they been good enough to give the service to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, to score more goals themselves, to have a proper goal themselves, to create chances? No, they haven't. That's why them players need replacing by quality.
The only one out of those players that I think you can hold, certainly out of our creative players, we don't know about Richarlison, so I'm taking him out of this equation. But if you look at the creative players in our team, Sigurdsson, Bernard, Iwobi. If you want to throw in Andre Gomez in there, throw him in. I'm personally on the fence about it. The only one who has done any form of job is Sigurdsson. And Sigurdsson's actually had a better season than I expected, so I'm not going to slag him off. But Iwobi and Bernard, to say they've disappointed me this season, Iwobi has never been the best player that I ever expected. He really hasn't. But there was times this season where I thought, you know what, you look good. But
the thing is, Mike, you bring Sigurdsson, and that's why I've just said he's had a better season. He's improved a little bit. Like Tom Davies has improved a little bit under Carlo Ancelotti. It's not consistent enough. If you look at the teams who are successful, Michael, their quality players are consistent every week. They might have one bad game in fucking 20. He has 2 good games in 20. It's not good enough for our football club, Michael. And this is why I'm saying you get these people who are happy Sigurdsson had a good game. Oh, he's got to start next game. No, he hasn't had a good game. He didn't, in my opinion. He didn't. He was better than a lot of the players, don't get me wrong. But he wasn't fucking class. He wasn't quality.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. When the standard's low anyway, it's good. Very, yeah.
But I want fucking top standard, Michael. And again, it's not going to happen next year. It's not going to happen in one window. But it's like a ladder. We started at the bottom rung before we brought the likes of Godfrey and Allen and Decore and James in. We've moved up 2 rungs now. This summer, we want to move up 3 rungs, and then push on for 4 rungs. Could be 4 or 5 years. It could be Bramley Moore before we've got a team to be proud of. Because I'm telling you now, if we go into Bramley Moore next fucking season with this team, won't even fill 52,000.
No.
And it'll be an embarrassment. We will become a laughing stock if we went into Bramley Moore dock with the likes of fucking Iwobi, Bernard. And this is no pop at Tom Davies because I think he's been really good this season, but he won't take us to the next level. If we go into Iwobi, Bernard, Tom Davies, Gylfi Sigurdsson, or Gomez when he can't even be asked, we'll become a fucking laughing stock. We need quality to go into this stadium, Michael. It doesn't happen overnight. It is a work in progress. But please, people, don't accept mediocrity. That's all I want to say. Don't accept mediocrity because this is Everton Football Club, one of the most successful teams in England. Don't accept mediocrity. Let's here's me saying, let's get behind the team. I will get behind the team, in my opinion, who deserve for me to get behind, who deserves to earn plaudits off me, off Michael, off all you people. If you think they've played poor, we want to see performances. Do you know what? On top of all, Michael, we want to see them play for the blue shirt and we want to see winning mentality from the first whistle to the last. Too many times this season we haven't seen it.
No, that's fine. And it does take time. As we know, it takes time. So, yeah, it's almost for Everton, it's going to be easier for Judge where we are as a football team once Carlo Ancelotti's had more of his players come in the end of next season. Then we can take a step back and go, yeah, this is Carlo's team. This is his decisions. The board of football, the board brought these in. We'll know where we are.
And what I will add to that, because I've got to be at the dentist. But what I will add, I'm not asked what people say. In my opinion, Carlo's made mistakes this season. Whether it's been team selections, whether it's been tactics, whether it's been substitutions. Why he brings on Iwobi is beyond me. But then, on the flip side, who else was on the bench the other day with Iwobi apart from Nkunku and Tom Davies? You know, so his hands are tied. His hands are tied. But 3 games prior to that, or 4 games prior to that, Tom Davies got substituted 3 times on the run. There's no way on God's given earth them 3 times Tom Davies got substituted the three games on the run. Was he worse than Andre Gomez and Gylfi Sigurdsson? He got made out to be a scapegoat again. And listen, I've made Tom Davies to be out a scapegoat. But you know, when you're putting performances in and you can see him trying and he has improved, and yet Iwobi gets brought on before him, that's when I'll have a pop at Carlo. Because in my opinion, some of his substitutions have been wrong. And in my opinion, I think Carlo's cost us quite a few points this season with his substitutions.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. And
so have a pop at me, but you know.
No, it's certainly in games where he's set up wrong as well. He certainly set up wrong at Fulham at home. You know, a few fan channels put that one on Carlo. You're not just because Carlo's our manager, doesn't mean we're not allowed to say he's made a mistake. But as you rightly say, he's got to be given time. And his hands are tied, and he gets that from us, doesn't he? You know, he gets his contract, no worries. So, guys,
the best thing. Carlo Ancelotti's the best thing that's ever happened to Everton Football Club since our last trophy in 1995. Before that, it was Al Kendall. So, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say he's had enough time. I will judge Carlo Ancelotti at the end of next season. Yeah, it's as simple as that. But we can still have an opinion on. Or everyone can. If we think his substitutions are wrong, that's what we pay our season ticket money for. That's why me and Michael take the time out to do YouTube channel, because it's a debate and it's a discussion and we're entitled to an opinion.
As everyone is. Guys, exactly. Let's leave it there. Thank you ever so much for watching. Obviously, this is our new show. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you Friday at 8 o'clock. Obviously, there will be videos in the week as well, but I haven't actually structured them yet. So this one is set for Tuesday and Fridays. Obviously, you've got the watch along, the match previews, and the match reactions when those are in. But there will be something in the middle as well, and maybe on a Monday and Wednesday. Guys, thank you ever so much. John, as always, you've been a pleasure. I hope they absolutely take the teeth out of your mouth and cut them into pieces in front of you. Guys, it's been a pleasure. See you soon.
Cheers, folks.
3, 2, 1.
It's just fired.